Hello everyone! Welcome to the Medyo Serious Talk Show, and today meron tayong I'm very honored to have this guest. He is a 1987 Constitution framer, Attorney Christian Monsod. Welcome po, sir. Studio applause naman. Yan. Wow. Apat na tao lang yan. Malakas lang talaga pumalakpak. Sir, 1987 Constitution framer, ibig sabihin, literally, isa po kayo sa nag-author nung Constitution. So, gusto ko lang curious lang ako sa part na to. Paano ba nagsimula na mag-assemble ng tao na bigyan ng task na ito ang pangahawakan ng bansa natin moving forward? Paano po nagsimula yun?
Yung 48 members of the Constitutional Commission were appointed by President Cory.
Cory, yeah.
I think she consulted many people.
Yeah.
I did not know that she had appointed me. I was on a car to a meeting on a Sunday. And when I arrived at the meeting, he said, you are now a member of the
Walang choice.
But that's how I didn't apply for the job.
Talaga? So, siya? Para siyang, parang anointed, no? Parang ganun ang dating.
But also, but the one who I think recommended me had asked me na, can I mention you, or can I
Gets.
mention you?
So parang ni-refer ka, parang ganun klase. Pero little did you know na tanggap na pala without applying.
Yeah. and nobody called me until it was announced.
What was the process like, sir? Parang like, can you give us like a parang brief na insight, or parang like how it was? Were all of you 48 people were just in a room talagang nag-uusap kayo, ganong klase?
Yes. And kasi very impressive yung membership.
Yeah. Oo.
And so the first order of the day is to vote for who's going to be the head of the commission, and who are going to be the members, members who had other, number 2, number 3 in the and then they just chose the chairman of the different committees, because there were so many committees. And I was asked to chair Article 11 on impeachment, accountability of public officers.
Wow, okay. Which is magandang segue sa ating actual topic. There is a looming impeachment for our Vice President, and for some reason, hindi siya nangyayari kahit marami namang legit complaints against it. Very public ang mga nangyaring kasalanan and everything, and people know. And yet, for some reason, our legislators have something to say about it, and it's not pushing through. So, what do you think is tawag doon? Within the Constitution ba yung ginagawa nilang how do you say this? Postponement?
Well, it's sa akin, we've had tatlo ng impeachment cases. And this is the first time na there's an obvious attempt to delay the proceedings and possibly even stop it. So, yung articles of impeachment are already transmitted ng House, pinadala na sa Senate on February 5. Ang unang excuse na kinamit nila, they were on recess. Tapos, next is, campaign period na sa election. So, it cannot be done before May, before elections. And then, after that, in-schedule nila for June 2. And then, they postponed it again to June 11. So, there is merong the steps they're taking make one believe that they're trying their best to delay or derail yung impeachment case.
And these things that they're doing, technically, is it legal what they're doing? Or if you frame it ng talagang alam mo yun, may motivation to kind of like, may political motivation to delay it. Baka yun na yung ano.
Well, actually, kasi kung titingnan mo yung, I'm going to read it,
Yeah.
because there was so much arguments about it. Yung point na when should take place, no? And it says here that in case the verified complaint or resolution of impeachment is filed by at least 1/3 of all the members of the House, the same shall constitute the articles of impeachment. And here is the phrase, and trial by the Senate shall forthwith proceed.
Yun yung...
Ang daming debate. Ano ba isabihin ng forthwith proceed? sabi ko, tingnan lang yung dictionary. No, it means immediate.
Yun nga yung mismong dinedebating word, no? Yung forthwith. Tas sinabi forthwith, hindi immediately. Pero synonymous yun eh.
Pareho. Kaya nga, obvious, it's obvious na there is an attempt to delay and hopefully by them to derail yung impeachment process. This is a guess, no?
Yeah.
But para sa tingin ko, they don't like the trial to proceed. Kasi parang pag pinresent ng prosecution yung evidence at saka yung charges and the evidence for it, baka magulat ang tao doon, no, na ba ganun pala si Vice President, no?
Yeah.
Yung, first of all, yung assassination.
Of course.
Then there is the question of funds that cannot be explained.
Yes.
What, 600 million.
Yung mga resibo na sobrang labo.
Ayaw nila siguro, parang ayaw nila na ma-discuss publicly lahat ng kakulangan o mga charges against the Vice President. Tapos, there's always the question of when the Vice President said, let us umpisahan na natin ang bloodbath.
Bloodbath, okay.
Ano yung sabihin?
Oo nga.
No? So I mean, if you're guessing, sabihin mo, baka meron siyang pabalik, yung ibabalik sa no, yung panlaban.
May gantihan.
Baka may listahan siya ng mga tao na sabihin niya na, bakit ako lang?
Tama.
Bakit ako lang ang ganyan? Napili yung ma-impeach. Ito yung mga ibang taong ang daming perang binursa. Di ba? No, so that's possible
makes sense now.
That there are people who may not like the proceedings to take place because of the information that the people will get from the presentation of the prosecutor's case.
Medyo medyo gangster din yung datingan, no? Parang kumbaga it was a public saying o basically pag pinayagan mo to, damay kita. Parang gano'n, no?
Gano'n. Parang gano'n. Kasi hindi lang delay eh. Meron pang isipan na dismiss.
Oo nga eh.
To stop.
Which is it possible to do so?
No.
Given that situation ngayon?
No.
Kahit anong, but these are very powerful
Kasi
people.
mandate of the Constitution is for the Senate to try the case.
Yeah.
I read the provision, no? Na yun ang kanilang, yun ang utos sa kanila ng Constitution. So they cannot stop it.
Yeah.
They have to conduct the hearing.
That's why until now, ang tactic nila is delay.
Delay. Baka people will lose interest. Sabi, tama na yan.
Wala yung public pressure.
So we don't know, right? And the 20th Congress is still to meet July 28 yata.
Yeah. End of the month.
So we will know how they tackle it. But if you talk to the people like the justices of the Supreme Court and so on, they'll tell you that it is a continuing body yung Senate, and it passes on yung impeachment case to the 20th Congress.
When these group of senators voted, And then they were against the impeachment. Pinapublic pa, parang there were media articles on it na who were against, who were for ganyang klaseng the impeachment or whatever. We really thought, like kunwari, siguro yung the common people na hindi masyadong aware, we really thought na parang, okay, so the Senate can decide against it. Not knowing na after a while na nilabas nila yung decision na yun, they shouldn't have any power to go against it pala. Parang even deciding, even yung tipong nag-huddle sila and then dapat din nila ginawa yun.
Well, I think they were hoping na mapapalusot nila na parang dismissal and it's accepted by the House, for example. Hindi eh.
Oo nga.
Kasi the House has the exclusive power to initiate it. Tapos the Senate naman has the sole power to try and decide the case.
Yeah.
So ibig sabihin, if you disable either one, hindi masusunod ang Constitution.
So it's very unconstitutional to do so. Kasi kumbaga parang pinasa na sa'yo ng House to, do your job. Then basically
we have done our job.
They've done our job.
Now you do your job.
Tama. And then they're basically saying, we voted and we feel like we don't want to do the job. Parang ganun, no?
Yeah, kasi after that meeting, di ba ni Recess, ang unang, I think the initial proposal was what? What's the word they use? Recant.
Parang ganun po.
Recant. And then they met again and gawin na lang natin review kasi yung recount automatically
parang
implies dismissal.
Yeah.
So review. Meron mga Senate daw, hindi, yung review can also be interpreted as dismissal. Kaya dinagdag nila yung is not dismissing or terminating the case.
Nagdagdag sila ng terminologies para ano.
And moreover, pinadala na nila ng summons si Vice President.
Yes.
And they took the oath of office.
Yes.
So, ang argument ng House, I think, is also a good argument na you've actually accepted
sinamon
although it was not read formally, but by taking the oath and issuing the summons, you have accepted the
process.
The articles of impeachment.
So technically, nagsimula na tayo. Parang ganun.
Actually, nagsimula na sila. Nag-issue sila ng summons eh.
Tama.
Diba? Kasi so, inumpisahan nila yung process.
Oh my God. So wala talaga. Kailangan talagang you have to tuloy ito.
Yes.
Is there, alam mo naman, sorry sir, but like we do have constitution, pero alam mo naman, ang implementation ng constitution dito is very problematic. And these are powerful people in our legislative department, kung ganun. These are the senators, no? They have the political will, do you think so, na talagang to wiggle around this and perhaps delay it kung hindi mo matapos, but very, like, talagang super delay it ng matagal, maybe until 2028, di ba, na baka may bago ng presidente.
Tagal naman yung 2028. Ikaw naman.
Pero,
3 years.
Kasi naman, sir, sa Pilipinas tayo, sir, syempre, ang expectation ko is talagang grim. So, seeing na nakakalusot tong mga to sa delay na ganyan, inisip ko, hanggang kailan sila, until when can they stretch it out? Or gaano kaya talaga to bago magkaroon ng comeuppance tong mga to? Or,
I think na tutuloy na ang 20th Congress.
Okay. So we have like mga like 20 days.
Well, July
28.
And so on. So, sa akin, they cannot avoid it, that itutuloy ang impeachment process. They cannot avoid it because it's a constitutional mandate.
Yes.
Ngayon, kung talagang gipitan, the House or anybody, no? Because after all, itong Article 11 is meant to protect the people.
Yes, exactly.
From public officials who have betrayed the public trust.
Yes.
So sa akin, hindi pwedeng hindi matuloy ito. Tuloy-tuloy ito. Nadili lang nila for whatever reason.
Pero worst case scenario, sir, aabot talaga sa gitgitan and everything. You mean...
Supreme Court.
Oh, okay. Get.
Yes.
Yun na nga talaga.
Kung talagang yung grave, tinatawag na grave abuse of discretion.
Yes.
No. Yung, the House or anybody, any people.
Ayun nga, so kunwari ako, I can file a complaint
Yes.
because I'm a tax-paying citizen.
No, not tax-paying. Because that provision is meant to protect you.
Yeah, okay. Game.
Diba? Protect us.
Yes.
So we can file. We can file with the Supreme Court under Article 8, Section 1. Yung the Supreme Court can determine if there has been grave abuse of discretion on the part of any branch or instrumentality of government.
Okay.
Kasama Senate doon.
So ano rin sila, may gambit din, no? Na talagang meron ding, may sort of iniiwasan din sila na ayaw nilang paabutin din doon.
Yeah, it's part of the system of checks and balances in a democracy.
Yes.
Now the Senate cannot have its way, right? And there are always means of checking when somebody has violated the oath of office,
abuse of power,
abuse of discretion. Yes.
That's such a parang relief. Parang nawala ka ng tinik din sa Because sometimes, sir, you can't help but feel powerless din a lot of people din. A lot of people get away with a lot of things, no, here in our country.
That's another point. That's another point. And there have been studies. One Cambridge University published it, that in South Asia there are two countries that are moving in the direction of authoritarianism, and that is Indonesia and the Philippines.
Wow. Okay.
Right? Because it's true.
Yeah.
We're on a slippery slope of authoritarianism since Duterte.
Yes.
Di ba?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, also there was a study also published by Cambridge University. They examined the voting record of 86 justices from 1987 to 2020 or 2021 in 70 mega cases, big cases. And the voting record of the justices averaged 69% in favor of the government or appointing power. But the appointees of Duterte, the voting record was 94% in favor of the government.
Wow.
And of our justices today, 12 are nominees or appointees of Duterte.
Wow. Okay.
There is one by Marcos, President Marcos, the latest one, and two by Aquino.
Okay. So, it's like 9 against 3. Parang ganun, no? Tama po ba? It's tawag doon
11.
94% na pabor sa
11 or 12, yeah.
Okay, wow. Sobrang intense naman nun. Does that mean na people have found a way to kind of like dance around the democratic ways of the people and
Duterte was smart in that sense.
Yes.
When he became president, he appointed old people already who had only 2-3 years, which is not the practice in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is that, sabi nila, do not appoint older than 65 because 70 is the retirement age.
Yeah.
He chose people that had 2-3 years to go. So he had a second round na he appointed naman very young people.
Wow.
No?
That's medyo ano yun I mean, is it borderline unethical or mahirap
Well, that is too political.
Yeah.
It is too political.
But it's moves like this na parang they find ways to, kasi Constitution's been around since 1987. they've had decades to kind of like do trial and error and learn how to skirt around it. And how do you say this? Like, we're still a democracy technically, but the way they harness it is parang very authoritarian na. Parang, alam mo yun, parang they made a lot of parang moves to kind of like use it for their favor, parang ganong klase.
Well, I guess everybody who loves power would do things that way, you know.
Determined to keep it. No?
Yeah, that's why it's really talagang mahirap to look for people like that who put the good of the country above their good. No? Yeah, you know, people ask, ano ba yung EDSA yun? EDSA was nung binagsak we were able to put down a dictatorship.
Yeah.
But we also, the EDSA is also the promise of a new social order.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Every administration from Cory to today has failed on that mission.
Oh, wow.
And the problem is getting bigger because the problem starts from the feudalistic system of dynastic families.
Dami.
And now,
Yeah.
and now that's deeper. In other words, the Ateneo studies shows that a lot of people belong to dynastic clans already, more than before. So it's a deeper root now. So that's our problem. That's our problem. That when will we finally realize the promise of a new social order? First, you have to abolish the dynasties, political dynasties. And that's up to the people.
That's true.
That's right to people.
Pero the people are, ayoko sabihin na manipulated, pero the people, kaya din we do shows like these because I wanna bring to light in a very palatable manner, or parang kumbaga parang very lubricated yung entry ng knowledge into their minds, no? Because sometimes a lot of people when they're faced with like totoong usapan or serious talks na kailangan nilang malaman, they shut their minds eh. Parang very escapist ang mga Pilipino eh. We just like to have fun. Mga ganong klase.
And also, I think the people are more concerned about their everyday life.
Yes.
No, like
the day-to-days,
yung criminality, yung mga drug addicts at night, yung corruption at the local level, government services, and so on. Na hindi nila, they cannot look beyond the short term.
Yes.
And that's why I think dapat sabihin natin sa mga kababayan natin, alam ba ninyo na yung tinasabi nilang Filipino people na are not living a decent life, right? That is different from what they call poverty. Kasi yung poverty daw bumaba na sa whatever 11%. Pero if you look at, are they living a decent life?
Yeah, quality of life.
Quite a different life. 58.4%.
Oh, that's huge.
So when we go, pagdating at sa mga tao, sabihin nyo, alam ba ninyo na you have yung sovereignty of power? Kasi sovereignty resides in the people. Diba? And there are 58.4% of you.
That are living terrible lives.
Yes, that terrible life. It's time for a change.
Exactly.
But it's up to you. Dapat you should already start. And to me, the most important election in this country is the barangay elections.
Yes, oo nga. I parang before we record, parang narinig ko nga, sir, na yun yung point mo. Why is that?
Because when we talk about democracy and so on, we talk about solidarity, same vision, and we talk about subsidiarity, right? Which means that the power should be as close to the people as possible, in order to really have real change. So ang importanteng sa akin election is the barangay elections. If the poor, the 58.4%, control the barangays, forget about yung mga ayuda. Basta yung iniisip nyo yung bayan at saka yung mga kapwa ninyo. then you have the power.
Tama.
In 3 more years, take over the municipalities.
Yes,
In
yes.
another 3 years, take over
Tama.
the province. Another 3 years, take. Ngayon, kami, we are just intermediaries. When the people already have acquired the power, we step back.
Yeah.
Because we will have a new generation of leaders who come from the poor.
Tama.
And that's when we're going to have real change in this country.
But that hasn't been happening since 87.
That's
because,
why we should go to the people now
Yeah.
and say, hindi ba kayo nagsasawa
Yeah.
na yung mga political
Paulit-ulit.
dynasties, they get more power, they get more money, yumayaman sila, lumalakas silang politically.
Tsaka dyan nagsisimula ang...
Kayo na A1.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Dyan yung power ng dynasty, it's in the local. Eh. The dynasties, that's where they grow. Di ba? Parang they literally have stake over different land. Parang ganun yung dating. Parang may mga hari dito sa mga iba-ibang lugar na to. Parang ganun.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, yung it has to start from the poor themselves to take power. Sa akin, no? Na forget yung temporary or short-term advantage of ayuda for a rich clan and so on. And think of your children and your grandchildren. Ano ba ang bansa na
long-term
long-term sitwasyon ng Pilipinas? We need a new generation of leaders.
Yes.
And we start at the barangay. What happened during the pandemic is a lesson to us, di ba?
Yeah.
What happened? In the pandemic, in the communities, nagtulungan ng tao, the people with the means, they help those who were in need.
Yeah.
In other words, transformation can start from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Rather than we're looking for that angel of hope who will be president na transformation from top to bottom. No. Transformation should be from the bottom up. And that's how you'll be able to have a real democracy, and it will last.
Yeah.
Because it's based on the people power.
Bulletproof siya, if we do that. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's that's such an empowering, tumaas yung balibo actually. That's such an empowering notion, sir. Kasi parang if you follow status quo or yung tipong kung ano lang nangyayari sa bansa natin, you can't feel but be powerless kung wala ka talagang kung hindi ka naman diba?
Actually, there are already signs, no? Una-una yung pandemic nga, no?
Yes.
We realize our
It's up to us. Yeah.
interconnected lives, di ba? But you know, kumisan nga yung mga kababayan natin na kakalimutan nila na if you don't exercise your power, you lose it.
Yeah.
So we're saying now is the time. This is the time now. At saka ngayon nag-aaway yung dynasties. Sumingit tayo dyan.
Tama.
Gumawa tayo ngayon ng bagong, di ba?
We can put the pressure kasi I feel like yung impeachment na to parang may lacking of political will yun na nangyayari, no? Parang it feels like a major part or a huge part of the government feels like parang it's not urgent. Parang ganun yung feeling ko. Kasi dinidilay, tapos parang bahala na, ganung klase. Hindi ba siya pwedeng lagyan ng konting boosters or put some rockets on the back of it and like, alam mo yun, expedite mo? Like,
well, to me, that's one of the benefits or what we get out of this impeachment case. Na mabubuklat ang ating consciousness. Aba, ito ba yung mga leaders natin?
Oo.
Paano yung aking anak? Paano yung aking ampo? Di ba yung apo, sabi natin, teka muna.
Yeah.
No? At pag nagkasundo-sundo tayo, kung ano yung vision natin of the future, then magkakatulungan tayo. No? We belong to the elite.
Yeah.
Right? And our job is just that, intermediary lang. Tapos atras na tayo and leave it to the poor to run the country.
Yes. Sana lang It's a very ideal notion, no? It's such a beautiful thing. I hope it really, really happens and sana ma-experience ko in my lifetime. Pero,
Wait,
yeah.
there are signs already.
You think so?
In the past two elections, there were young mayors
Yeah.
who are incorruptible
Yes.
that they voted into power.
Yes, yes, yes.
In the last two elections, there are 2 or 3 dynastic clans who are no longer in office.
Natalo sila. Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
In other words, nandyan na yung seeds.
Yeah.
The seeds are there.
Yeah.
And we should work together with the poor, and the church should help. Kaya dapat yung mga bishops I think they're beginning to be very active again, no? So to me there is hope.
Yeah.
From what is happening in our country.
Here and there. Pero sir, minsan may mga glaring din na stats, like kunwari, I think 73% daw are not aware of the Constitution, or hindi man lang, like, hindi ko naman sinasabi like kabisado nila or anything, but they should be aware of what are they, capable of, or parang ano yung dapat sa kanila, di ba? Parang ganun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sa akin, I was the one who gave that 73% of the people know nothing or very little about the Constitution.
Yeah.
Sa akin, ang dapat ating emphasize yung Bill of Rights, with the rights of the people against the state, at saka yung social justice.
Yeah.
It's social justice.
Yeah.
The Article 13 of the Constitution. Basahin natin. As I said nga, it's about education and health, and about 4 asset reform programs, agrarian reform, urban land reform and housing, indigenous peoples, and fisheries. They're the poorest of the poor are. Sila ang dapat tulungan natin.
Yes. Tapos sila dapat ang...
I was happy nga that si Cardinal David joined me, and we filed the case in the Supreme Court with regard to fishing rights na binigay ng Supreme Court to large-scale fishing.
Yes.
He was one. The 2 of us were petitioners in that case. Nasabi, teka nga muna, under the Constitution, ang dapat ang favorable dyan, yung municipal fishermen who are poor husband. Yung kanilang harvest going down. Tapos papasukon mo pa ng large-scale na ano matitira dun sa mga poor fishermen, municipal fishermen.
Lugi sila kasi kalaban nila barko, di ba? May equipment na malupit.
There's a study by The Economist that the Philippines is number 4 in the world on cronyism.
Okay. That's a good term.
and the chairman of that company that got those fishing rights.
Yeah.
She's married to...
Connected siya. Let's just say.
to a high government official.
It's tawag din, very, parang maraming in the States na nasira because of that. Like we could go on, like, we have like 10 minutes left, pero we could go have another episode towards that na talagang nakakuha sila ng exclusive ganyan because connected sila sa ganyan. They're after this one, they're after this, ano siya, para kayo naghahatian ng industriya pag para talaga siyang mafia style siya. Parang ganoon yun.
Pero sa akin since we don't have much time.
Yeah.
Sa akin, we should talk to the people who have power and so on, who say that they also want real change in this country.
Yes.
So and so when I talked to big businessmen and so on, I said, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to achieve? And we agreed on the vision of a democracy with which address inequality, not only poverty, inequality. What are you willing to sacrifice for it? Kasi, for example, I asked people who are meaningful, they want to be helpful. I said, have you attended your barangay assemblies twice a year? Hindi. How can you connect to the poor?
Yeah.
Do it.
Yes.
And Because if you're willing to sacrifice for the country and for the poor that you say you love,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yes.
Because sacrifice daw is the currency of love.
Ano ang pwedeng gawin ng ating bansa or kahit lawmakers or kung sino man in power to kind of like push to implement or parang to kind of like push na talagang matuloy itong impeachment na to? What moves do they have to do?
Well, the people can talk to their senators or congressmen
Yeah.
that they know,
Yeah.
and they should, I think, no, they should write or declare or have it's been done already now, di ba? Sinasabi na ituloy natin itong
Yeah.
ito. Para dapat sabihin nila, gusto namin malaman kung anong klase ng mga aming mga public officials. Kasi binoto ko yan eh.
Yes, yes,
Di ba?
yes.
Alam mo, umpisa.
Yeah.
Sabi, yan pala ang binoto ko, mali yata.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not only the Vice President. You're talking about the senators, how they voted.
Yes.
Right?
The ones that
right.
didn't want to push it or
And
delay
also,
it. Yeah.
and also the congressmen, the 215 congressmen who filed this impeachment charge. So magkakaalaman tayo, and then we can do something about
Tama.
it in the 2028.
Exactly. Ilang taon na lang, no? Okay, so kung last na lang, sir, kung magbibigay dahil alam nga natin 73% medyo and hopefully ang kabataan natin will get reformed or wise up to it, no? Lalo na ngayon, age of information. Kung magbibigay ka ng constitutional homework sa mga kabataan, anong ito?
Sa akin, dapat lang i-emphasize natin yung Constitution natin. Sabi nila pareho sa United States, sabi ng Senator, itong ginagawa sa United States. Sabi ko, hindi.
Yeah.
Hindi pareho yan.
Yeah.
Kasi ang United States, civil and political rights, tayo apat. Civil, political rights, social, economic, and political inequalities. Iba yun.
Yeah.
Right? And sa akin, pag-isipan natin mabuti kung anong klaseng kinabukasan ng ating ang bayan natin.
Yeah.
If we agree that we need really social change, nag-uumpisa yan sa boto.
Yeah.
And nag-uumpisa sa boto sa barangay.
Yes, sa local.
Magpakita kayo sa barangay na
Yes.
pinag-isipan na ninyo ito at gusto niyo yung pagbabago.
Mas konti mo boto pag barangay level elections eh.
Well, oo. Kasi, of course, ang ginawa ng mga politicians, binigyan nila ng additional 2 years sa term.
Yeah.
Right? Kaya yung mga barangay captains ngayon, they have served 10 years already instead of 6.
Yes.
Right? So yun naman ang parang quote-unquote ayuda o whatever sa kanila. Sabihin natin, ginagawa lang na niya kasi para sa kanilang sariling benefit.
Yeah.
I am asked sometimes na, what mistakes did you do in writing the Constitution? And sabi ko, we're human beings. It's not a perfect institution.
Yeah.
But from hindsight, I think we made two mistakes.
Okay.
Right. Number one, we overestimated the spirit of EDSA.
Yeah.
And number two, we underestimated the greed of politicians for power and money.
Yes.
So if I'm going to change anything in the Constitution, it's to make up
for those things. Yeah.
From
So
hindsight.
overestimated defense meaning parang noong time na yun, everybody was like, oh, reform. Magiging mabuting tao tayo. We'll keep people in check. We'll keep our leaders in check. Diba? Kasi noong time na yun, kaka-overthrow lang ng dictator. And then now naman, ito naman, the part 2 is that, okay, parang merong ibang levels of greed.
Yeah. And you know, when we start thinking about it, pag-isipan, I think, that's why important to me that the church gets into this, into this education system.
Yes.
Para magkaroon tayo ng tunay na pagbabago.
Okay. Yes. Sir, I wish I could talk to you for a long time. But thank you so much. That was so insightful and very inspiring. The Medyo Serious Talk Show is on at One News every Tuesday at 9 p.m. At kung wala kayong TV tulad ko, punta lang kayo sa YouTube, search nyo Medyo Serious Talk Show with Red Oliero. Sobrang daming episode nandun, including this one will air on YouTube as soon as it's on TV. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
I appreciate it so much.
You're
Grabe,
welcome.
ang intense.
Thank you.